Hey, welcome to Bishop Justice another week. Hey, we appreciate your calls, your conversations, your mails and emails, the whole 9 yards. We thank you. Uh, in the news, going to be short today. In the news, the sheriff race. We're going to have Captain Scott Peoples on next week. And then we probably have Lieutenant John Ivey, Lieutenant Richard Roundtree, Lieutenant Robbie Silas, Attorney Freddie Silas. Go to Matthew 18:9 through 20 for the Bible verse for today. But let me give you, we got to do an announcement. And I promise the people in Sacramento, California, made the announcement. To Bishop Justus Wilson, Augusta, Georgia. We at the International Full Gospel Apostle Bishop Network are pleased to announce your appointment to Eastern USA Division as Adjutant General. As part of our executive team, we look forward to your expertise and wisdom on making us a premier focal group on helping ministry leaders, the needy, and others around the world. One love in Christ, Bishop Dr. Burnett Jamar Forte, Jr., presiding prelate. That appointment is equivalent to appointing me as a cardinal in the Catholic Church. Hey, what can I say? One other thing, Raceway Barbecue, 3481 Wrightsboro Road. Every Saturday, you come out and see them. Now, it's $2 off if you come out and say Bishop Justus sent you. Every Saturday. Pool barbecue dinners, $9. Pool barbecue sandwich, $5. Rib dinner, $10. Rib sandwich, $6. Chicken dinner, $9. Chicken roll, $5. Turkey wing dinner, $10. Hash and rice, $5. Combo dinner, 2 meats, all sides, $12. All dinner served with hash and rice, your choice of green beans or baked beans and rolls. Good friend of mine, go see Jeff. Jeff said if you come out there and say, Bishop sent me, it's $2 off. Well, I gave my word to him that I would do it, and I always keep my word. Bishop Justus always keeps his word. Well, with that said, let's get into today's show. Well, we have a mighty man of God, a good man, and a good man steps are ordered by the Lord. So that's my Bible verse for today. A good man steps are ordered by the Lord. We have Cleveland Jones. He on Bishop Justus, and I thank God for him. We had to change our schedule up a little bit because of the sheriff's race. So we're gonna have the sheriff's people coming up next week, and he accommodated my schedule, and I thank God for him. And he's always been good to me. I don't know what else to say. Cleveland, thank you. God bless you. So here we are, and I can put my paper down because I don't have to talk about the other stuff. Who's Cleveland Jones?
Cleveland Jones, that's a hard question to ask, but I'll tell you the part that I know. I was born here in Augusta, September 6, 1940. I went to school here in Augusta, Ursula Collins in grammar school, Lucilaney High in high school. I graduated. I went to, then I started working.
Right.
And my first real job was at the Medical College of Georgia, working in experimental surgery, and that was a really interesting and stressful job. And that's where a lot of drinking started as well.
You know what? It's a thing that I read your bio, and here's what intrigues me the most. How did you overcome the addiction? Alcohol is an addiction. So how did you overcome it?
Well, after a period of years, 15, maybe 20 years, I took my first drink when I was like in my 20s, early 20s. That's when I started working at the hospital, and it lasted till I was 49 years old. But it got so bad till it started affecting organs. I had two, three pancreatic attacks, and liver enzymes was all out of balance, kidney, high blood pressure, and probably diabetes too, but it didn't show up until after I stopped drinking.
Mr. Jones, can I call you Cleveland?
Sure.
You don't look, we talked about this earlier. You don't look in your 70s. So I'm trying to figure out how, I know you said the alcohol did this and that, but you look like you about, no way past 50 years old. 50, 55. I'm just telling you. If you never told me you were 70 years old, I would never,
72.
ever. 72.
Yeah.
I would have never, ever thought that. So I'm trying to figure out, so is that called, I had a friend of mine ask me the other day, is it working addict? You can go about doing things and nobody knows that you are addicted. See, you have different addicts. You can be addicted to alcohol, drugs, and addicted to food. And nobody ever knows that. See, addiction is addiction. Addiction just means too much. But you look so good, then I'm trying to figure out, well, how'd you get away with it? You 70-something years old. Now tell me how you explain that.
I can't. All I know is it's genetic. My grandmother lived to be 107, and I think that there's some genetic predisposition there. And all of my brothers and sisters, they're still alive, and that's just the way it is. And I take care of myself now more so than I ever have, because I'm involved in a 12-step program, and I have learned to take care of myself spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and socially. And I believe one of the big negatives in everybody's life, especially here in America, is overeating.
Right.
And I believe eating is one of the biggest.
Well, I don't want to cut you off on that, because I'm going to tell you something. Obesity is killing the black community. I don't want to be negative on the black community, but the number one killer of the black community is heart disease, and that leads from obesity, which is eating. You can't put away from the table. But you were in such great shape, and when I first met you, you told me to come see you. I came. You told me to come see you. But I never made you start to 70 years old. I'm still trying to figure out how you 70 years old. Cleveland, the addiction thing, you got to tell me about your business and your school and what you got going on.
Well, go back to the beginning. I went into treatment, and because I was really a hopeless case. I felt hopeless anyway, and that's what most people have. When people go into treatment, they don't have any hope, any faith. Because I personally, and I know hundreds of people that I have helped treated over the past 21 years who just lost all hope and faith. So when I got into treatment, I saw this thing really working for some people, because, the creed is to just come back and help others.
Right.
And I'm in a spiritual program now, and that's what they were doing, coming back to the hospital and sharing their experience, strength, and hope.
Right.
And I looked at this thing, and for the first time in my life, I felt empowered. I really did. So when I started to get better, somewhere around 6 months, my strength started to come back and start gaining a better positive attitude, And I asked the treatment director, I want to be a counselor. I want to help people. I know that's part of life. In the end, once you get your life together, or my life together, I need to help others.
Right.
So he said, okay, all you got to do is go to school, and we'll be here to help you get through the other things that you need to do. Right. So over a period of time, after I graduated college, and I went through there are steps that you have to take, that I had to take, 5,000 hours of clinical work.
Right.
And then in the end, you go before a board, and you take the exam, and then you sit down.
Is it like the same thing like a dissertation? Like I had to
do that too, but it's called something different.
I have a PhD. I had to go through an exam to get I had to do a dissertation, all that. So is it the same thing, critical, that y'all had?
Pretty much, but you do it on a person from the beginning of treatment till the end, and tell you how you treat them, how you treated them, what counseling theory did you use, and how well are they doing now in the aftercare. And then you sit before a board with 5 people, and they ask you questions. And that was a real scary experience, but I got my way through it anyway.
But if they ask you this question, they say, well, okay, they say, well, what would make you, what they call, not go back? What's the word for it? Do you fall back?
Relapse.
Relapse.
Mm-hmm.
So what would make you relapse?
Nothing.
Oh, at this point in time, nothing?
Nothing. I surrender. I surrender.
So you surrender to the alcohol or God? I mean,
Surrender to the alcohol and the spiritual principles that I live by.
So then that means that I think what you're saying is that Christ is in your life or something. I mean, not because I'm a priest. I'm a priest.
No, no.
But I'm not because I'm a priest. I'm not trying to put you in the spot.
I'm
an Orthodox priest.
I have a Christ-centered life.
I got you. Yeah.
You know, and I live by spiritual principles that Christ lived by.
Right. I have a non-denominational church now, but I'm an Orthodox priest, and I used to listen to people do confessions, and I can't divulge any information, but some things that were said, like what you're saying, and it's I think you got to be a mighty man of God to go to the next level.
No. I don't give any credit to what I have now because all the credit goes to the people that helped me get where I am now.
Okay.
So, and that's just the way it is.
All right.
This disease is cunning, baffling, and powerful. You know, people have been under the influence and guise of addiction for 3,000-4,000 years, and now we have a way to treat it.
Right.
And that's what I do for a living now.
So alcoholism is a disease.
It's a brain disease, and that's what people tend to not understand.
Is it inherited? Can you inherit that, or is it you? What? Tell me about alcoholism. Is it?
Alcoholism.
Some people say it's inherited. Is it? Yes or no?
You mean can you be born with it?
Right.
No.
Okay.
You can be born with the propensity to be an alcoholic
Right.
with less alcohol.
Right.
Your parents can give it to you. You can give it to your son,
Right.
the gene.
Right.
And if he drink, he will become an alcoholic faster than most people who don't drink.
I got you.
But anybody can be an alcoholic.
So the addiction process is free choice.
In the beginning, it's free choice, but after then, the alcohol starts to hijack the brain, and everything else becomes second choice.
Oh, okay. So I got you. So to fight it off, you gotta get counseling. You gotta get help. You can't do it by yourself.
You can't do it by yourself. Some people can. You know, this is not 100% now.
Right,
but this is more so than anything that we as a society have come up with in the past. And statistically, it says 94% of alcoholics die. 4% goes into recovery, and 1% go insane.
Well, you got a school out there on. Tell me now. I know
Tobacco Road.
On Tobacco Road. Tell me the exact address. I was going to tell you. Just go ahead and tell where you.
Well, before I got it, when I got out of treatment and became certified, and I was the first black addiction counselor at University Hospital. I don't know why I said that, but
well, that's fine. I mean, that's nothing wrong with saying that, Cleveland.
There is the reason why it was needed is because there's a cultural difference in the African American as opposed to the Caucasian, and also with women.
Right.
Women have a 50% better chance of recovering than men.
Right.
And it would be better to have an educated African American counselor who knows about the PTSS.
I know that my wife's a nurse. My wife works in MCG, so I know exactly what you're talking about. She works in the ICU ward, and we see many people come in there, and she prays for them. That's not her job to do it, but she prays for these folks on a daily basis. But I know exactly what you're talking about. But the alcohol addiction, I think, is when I was in the Army, I looked at the alcohol, but they really didn't get indulged with drugs and the other things. It was always drinking. So do you think the alcohol addiction for the Army veterans stems from
there's no question
stress?
about that.
Okay.
Oh, there's no question about it, especially during the Vietnam War.
Right.
Some of them wasn't addicted. They used to deal with the stress of being in that environment. and when they came back, they quit. But a lot of them didn't. They became addicted, and then when the Gulf War came along, they started, the marijuana thing started in the Vietnam War, and then the Gulf War, and the drugs became heavier and heavier and heavier. Now, it takes, the thing about drugs, and this may or may not surprise you, but you can become addicted, or anybody can become addicted to drugs a lot quicker than alcohol, because it has a very powerful effect on the brain. And if you use the first time somebody used crack cocaine, 33% of them become addicted. The second time, 66% of them are addicted. If you use crack cocaine that third time, 100% of them are addicted.
Golly,
But you can't do that with alcohol.
I don't, that surprised me. I never did drugs in my life. I drink wine. I mean, the Pope drinks wine. I'm an Orthodox priest. We got to do communion and everything else, but I never did drugs in my life. But what you're saying is astonishing to me, because I don't understand that. But I think, I talked to we got to take a physical every year, at the VA. I said, Sergeant Wilson, you're in perfect shape, perfect health, do this, do that. So I'm kind of thinking bad because I drink wine or beer or whatever, but she said, oh, you're in perfect shape. So there's got to be a point where you go too far. And where's the too far limit?
As far as alcohol is concerned?
Yeah, too far.
It depends on a lot of things. Depends on your gender, how much you weigh, whether you use it for stress, and there's about 4 other things that happen that that comes in play with it. There's nothing wrong with having a glass of white wine with fish. 1 to 2 4-ounce glasses of wine. Right. 1 to 2 or 3 times a month. There's nothing wrong with that, because tolerance is the ability of the body to adapt to it.
Absorb the alcohol.
No, adapt.
So it's not absorption. So this is a misconception.
No, it doesn't have anything to do with that.
Absorption. So it's not absorption. It's adapt.
The more you drink, the more you have to drink. That's tolerance.
Oh, okay.
And if you drink 1 or 2 times a week, your tolerance level go back down.
Oh.
So you don't have time. You don't have time to build up on it.
Okay, that's a good point.
But that don't work with drugs.
Well, I don't know nothing about drugs. I never did drugs in my life, so I can't tell you about drugs. I mean, I can talk about alcohol. I drink wine, but I can't tell you nothing about the drug thing. I was a cop in the military, so I don't know nothing about that. But the other thing is, your school, I went out there to see you on Tobacco Road. Great facility. Tell me some more about the facility out there.
Well, I had an opportunity to buy the school, and what the school involves is we do multiple things. First of all, we do DUI, DUI classes. A DUI class consists of somebody who get a DUI or multiple offender or habitual violators. They have to go to school for 20 hours.
Right.
After then, they have to have a clinical evaluation to find out whether or not you need more treatment, especially with 1 DUI, because anybody can get a DUI. You can drink a glass of wine and go drive your wife somewhere, and you can get a DUI. That's a time factor there. Right. So most of the people that comes into my school, I would say probably 95% of them don't have a problem with that. They just abuse it, and they drove, and and I got a DUI. But then there are other people that need treatment. And the treatment is the most important component of getting them to either seek treatment or learn how not to become addicted, to become a pendant. Most people have abused alcohol.
Right.
And then we do drugs as well. People who get caught with marijuana, and we do.
So you're certified. You do not just alcohol. You certified drug counselor.
Certified addiction counselor. That includes drugs.
So what does that entail? I mean drugs, alcohol. What is a certified drug addiction counselor?
Well, if you get 2 DUIs, it's mandatory that you're going to need some treatment.
Okay.
And the process is, you go to the DUI school, you have a clinical evaluation, and there's a 99% chance that you're going to have treatment if you get 2 DUIs in 5 years. So then they are referred to whoever they want to go, because we have a list of people that they can go to, and a lot of people want to come to the school that they got that they took the DUI for a lot of reasons. And one of them is it's close to where they stay, and they can walk.
Is that because you right outside Fort Gordon?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have a lot of people come right outside Fort Gordon? You got a lot?
No Fort Gordon. Very few.
Because you know
few.
they ain't gonna be out of the army. Right?
Well, they get punished.
This day and age
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So most of your clientele is just wherever.
In the city.
In
the city of Augusta and Burke County, yeah.
But you got reasonable rates. I mean, is this a standard price you got to charge?
Yes.
You can charge what you want. How's the price?
No. It's state regulated.
Oh, state regulated. So you have
Yes.
to charge a certain price, and then
Yes.
it goes from there.
Yeah, you can't go any higher, any lower.
Oh, so but somebody wants to see you, it's conveniencing. If you're in the area.
Yes, they can walk to school, or their parents can bring them,
Right.
or their wives.
I've been to your office. It's a very, very, very nice office. What are your hours there?
You mean the hours for DUI school?
No, the operation, everything.
9 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday.
The
No
DUI
Saturday?
school, not in the office, but we do the DUI school on Saturday. Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Okay, what is that? Saturday, Sunday, Monday?
Saturday and Sunday, 8 to 5,
Okay.
and Monday, 6 in the afternoon till 10. And that's
Okay.
a 20-hour course. And then they'll get a certificate of completion after then. And if they don't need to have any more work, if they hadn't gotten caught driving without a license, because every time you get caught driving without a license, that's $210 extra.
Oh, right. So
It's expensive.
in Georgia, they always say that the DUI, get caught with a DUI without a license, costs a lot of money to get your license back. But you're one of the people counseling, everything else you can help them get on the right road. So what do you tell somebody in the class?
Well, first we have to find out what the problem is. If they are dependent, we find out what the problem is, and then we write a treatment plan for that. For instance, you might have relationship problems. That person could have stress on the job. Anyway, there are 3 kinds of addiction that we look at.
What are those?
Social, psychological, and dependence.
Okay.
So, and socially, usually people become familiar with a drug of their choice by social means. I'll be around somebody
Hanging
who's
out.
doing it.
Hanging
Yes,
out.
and they'll do it.
Right.
So then we address those issues.
Right.
And we teach them spiritual principles that will allow them not to use the drug again, and in the meantime they learn how to cope with life on life's term. And we teach them the same thing, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and social things that we have to do, and teach them how to pray and what to look for and how to build up a God consciousness. Because when people first come into treatment, they have a real bad taste in their mouth about God because it's been shoved down their throat as children.
So you actually, y'all talk about religion and God and teach people how to pray
No,
there?
no.
No, as a bishop, I'm just saying.
We talk about spirituality and how to pray, but first, in order to learn, you see, most people pray for the wrong things, like me. I prayed for cars and bigger houses and all that, But
well, you pray for material things back in the day.
back in the day, yeah.
Material things.
But-
Material things you can't take with you.
And you can't live with them either.
That's right.
Yeah, there's an empty hole there.
Right.
And we teach them how to fill that spiritual
right,
hole.
Right.
There is a wonderful little saying that I saw when I first got into treatment. They were sending us around to different churches who had these spiritual meetings, I'll say. And I was sitting next to a wall, kind of like this, and there was a picture on that wall. And the caption under it said, "There's a God-filled vacuum in every man, woman, and child. Cannot be filled with sex, money, and material things." And I said to myself, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. So then my recovery started to get better and better at that after I started to learn spiritual principles in this spiritual program. And
Cleve, I can't believe you're 70-something years old. I'm looking at you. I can't believe it. You must have drank the Fountain of Youth or something. You must have found Ponce de Leon or whatever they call that thing. You been down in Mexico and drunk the water or something?
No, I did do a little research on it when before I started drinking, but never drank anything colored. But anyway, that's a whole different story.
Because I would never in a million years, when I first met you, I didn't never think you were 70-something years old.
Well,
So, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
I
mean, you are. I don't know what else to say. I'm baffled. I'm baffled. I'm probably speechless. First time Bishop Justus speechless. But I can't think that you believe in a million years you're 70 years old. And but anyway, we're going on further. You got your school. Who do you most admire? I mean, what's going on in the political landscape that
I don't get involved.
You don't get involved with that? You don't get involved with religion and politics? What goes on in your mind? Anything that goes on?
I just laugh.
Just laugh. Other than sponsoring, one of my
Sponsoring.
sponsors my TV show.
Oh, well, I thought you was in that sense.
No.
My
No.
primary job is something else now, and I'm a creed is I am not allied with any sect, denomination, politics, or institution. Does not wish to get into any controversy.
My church is not a denomination, so that's one of the things. Like I said, I got appointed adjutant general for the East Coast, but we kind of don't get into, denomination. We just want to know you worship a higher being, God, and we go from there. But you got to be, something's got to be on your side, Cleveland, because I'm just telling you. People going to watch this show, there's nobody going to believe you. How?
I'll be 72 this year.
There's nobody going to believe you 72 years old.
Oh, well.
And it's just, they don't want to know what water you drinking, what food you eating, where you hanging out, they want to be with you. But your family, you got the kids, the grandkids, and great-grand. If I can be half the man you are, I'll probably be all right.
You can do it.
It might be my show and everything else, but life to me is so short. We got so much stuff going on right now.
It is.
And it's so much nonsense and so much non-unity, but if you can change one thing, I mean, not change one thing, but if you can influence something, impact something in America or in the world, what would you do?
Probably nothing. I'm all right like it is.
You like the world how it is?
Just like it is.
Because it suits Cleveland.
No. No. I used to worry about things like that, and now, I can accept the things I can. Serenity prayer. Sure you do.
Yeah.
And there's a set of instructions in there, and that's what I use. I pray everywhere that I go. I use that as serenity prayer, and it's very important for me because I used to be really judgmental, and I wanted to change the things. I look at TV and I'm getting angry because can't these people say that they're doing wrong?
Yeah.
Like the guy that got killed.
Down in Florida.
Yeah, down in Florida.
Somebody killed the little young boy. And,
very sad.
Yeah.
Very sad.
But we don't know the whole story.
Can't do anything about it.
We don't know the whole
The thing
story.
about it is he's still dead no matter what we come up with.
Right. We don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
But like you said, I used to be judgmental too, years ago. I stopped that. About 4 or 5 years ago, I stopped that. At one point in my life, I was a perfectionist.
Yeah, we get a lot of them too.
Yeah, I was perfectionist, and everything had to be, just this way, this
I
way.
understand.
But I got to the point in time now, it's not that serious. It's just not that serious. I take things day by day, and I go with the flow. But
right.
I can't be a perfectionist because everybody, it's just, it is what it is.
That's right.
And it is what it is. So with that said, you're not judgmental. I'm not judgmental.
No, I'm still judgmental, but I got a way to get around it now with the spiritual principles out there.
That's
When
right.
I look at Matthew 7, and it tells me more instructions.
What does it say? We got to wrap it up.
Take the board out of your eye before you get the splint out of mine.
That's the whole point. I can't judge you if I'm doing the same thing wrong.
Or something different. They just can't see it.
Oh, Cleveland, you said a mouthful. And with that, you've been a very inspirational guest to me.